My name is Evin Carville-Zemer. I serve as the half-time interim minister at our Unitarian Universalist Church in North Royalton, Ohio. I also serve the Ohio, Meadville, and St. Lawrence districts with responsibilities for youth and young adult ministry. And I do identify as genderqueer and have identified as genderqueer for 16 years, I think. So when I first came to General Assembly, it was 25. I'd been out as genderqueer for 6 years, and I really expected to see a best practice of welcoming the diversity that we claim to welcome. And at that point, there weren't any gender-neutral bathrooms. I found, in general, I'm read different ways in public bathrooms. It depends on how I'm dressed that day. It depends on how I'm frankly wearing my chest. It depends on what kind of attitude I'm carrying through the world. And I've experienced a range of things in public bathrooms. I'm lucky enough that I haven't experienced violence or physical trauma. I have had people assume I'm in the wrong bathroom. I use a different bathroom depending on how I think I'm being read and depending on the context, depending on whether or not people know me in that context, and so they expect me in a particular bathroom. But my first General Assembly, I didn't know anybody. It was a new experience, and it was hard for there not to be gender-neutral bathrooms because every time I needed to go, I had to decide which bathroom am I least likely to get funny looks in, and who wants funny looks when you're trying to be welcomed into a community. And I didn't want to have to pick a box. It felt like to me, if this is my spiritual home, if I'm coming home in a kind of pilgrimage kind of way, shouldn't this be a place my whole self is welcomed? And instead, I had a sense that maybe no one had planned for me to be there. Because if they'd planned for me to be there, there would have been a bathroom for me to use. So it's been 10 years since my first General Assembly. That was in 2003. And I'm really glad that we are going into this a different way this year, that we are trying to create spaces for everyone to feel safe to use the bathroom without having to go to the far ends of the conference center. I don't think it's important that we all want the same thing in a bathroom, but it's important that there be bathrooms that work for everybody, that there be enough bathrooms for folks with disabilities that aren't being used by other people. That means having a space for those of us who don't need the disability bathroom to have a bathroom that feels comfortable in a gendered way. And it also means having spaces that are comfortable for people who really don't want to be in a mixed gender setting. That includes trans people who identify as male and use the male bathroom, and trans women who identify as female and use the women's bathroom. Not everybody, not even all trans people, want a gender-neutral bathroom. So I hope that people aren't feeling like this is about you have to be cool. You have to want to use a gender-neutral bathroom. I don't think that's what this is about at all. I think this is about making real the welcome of the diversity that we claim to welcome, and making real that welcome is more than words. It's about making space for people and people's bodies and the things bodies have to do. And is it going to be uncomfortable? I'm sure it's going to be uncomfortable for people. If you haven't been in a gender-neutral bathroom, that would be different. If you are just uncomfortable with the idea that they're happening around you, that would be different. Some people have raised the different bathroom cultures that develop in men's and women's bathrooms. And I guess I'm hoping that we can see this as a chance to practice. We claim that we want to have a faith that makes room for different ways of being human without saying there's a right way. So let's see what happens with multiple different bathroom cultures. Can we have different ways of being? Can we live into that discomfort and see what kind of lessons we can learn about being truly multicultural and truly welcoming of diversity? There's always another layer to learn, and I'm excited to be part of this year's experiment in continuing to stretch our welcome. So I hope that other people can see it that way too, that this is a excitement rather than something to be nervous or scared about. So see you in Louisville.